Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Sumer, there was a story about a massive, terrifying dragon called Kur. This dragon wasn't just any regular scary creature. It was like a huge pit of darkness that could suck in all the light around it. The people living in Sumer were very afraid of Kur because it made its home in a deep and dark part of the sea. This part of the ocean was so vast and unknown, it felt like it stretched into eternity, reminiscent of the mysterious places people believed you went after death. Kur's tale is closely linked to another story about a queen who ruled the underworld, named Ereshkigal. In a daring move, Kur kidnapped Ereshkigal, causing a great disturbance. This bold act prompted Enki, the god known for his control over water, wisdom, and creation, to take action. Enki decided to journey into the underworld to confront Kur. The ensuing battle was tremendous. Kur used rocks and summoned ancient waters to launch an all-out attack on Enki's boat from every direction. However, Enki, wielding his immense control over water, managed to quell the stormy assault and defeat the dragon, emerging victorious. In the mystical tales of ancient Mesopotamia, we find the story of Ninurta, a heroic god, who, armed with his intelligent weapon and ally, Sharur, set out on an epic quest. Ninurta faced Kur, a symbol of the ancient chaos, a dragon so powerful that its existence posed a threat to the very order of the universe. Kur ruled over the underwater realms, wielding the power to end all life. This battle wasn't just about brute strength, it was a fight for the soul of the world, a struggle between destruction and salvation. As Ninurta engaged Kur, the battle was so intense that it seemed as if the universe itself was holding its breath. Kur, with its immense fury, tried to undo the world back into nothingness. Yet, Ninurta, fueled by a righteous anger and a firm resolve to maintain cosmic order, fought back with unmatched bravery. Their confrontation was a spectacle of divine power and ancient chaos, shaking the very core of the world. However, defeating Kur had unforeseen effects. The dragon's fall allowed the ancient waters it held at bay to surge forth, threatening to submerge the world. The aftermath revealed the delicate balance of creation, as floods and famines loomed over the lands. But Ninurta's victory was also a beginning. He took up the mantle to repair the world. Using his wisdom and strength, he contained the chaos, converting the ruins of his foes into barriers against the floods, and redirecting the waters to breathe life back into the earth, turning wasteland into fertile land. Enki's tale continues as he becomes a central figure in the fight against Kur, who had disrupted the natural order by kidnapping Ereshkigal. Enki's quest to the underworld was fraught with peril, facing storms and stone assaults that mirrored the fiercest ocean tempests. Despite the chaos, Enki's intelligence and mastery over water allowed him to overcome Kur, restoring balance and earning his title as the Lord of the Abyss. These stories also highlight the interconnectedness of all things. The battles against Kur, while showcasing the god's might, also underscore the consequences of their actions, such as devastating floods that affected the land and its people. These narratives emphasize the importance of life, water, and the earth, portraying the god's efforts to restore balance and rejuvenate the world. Enki's role extends beyond battling Kur. He features in tales about the origin of the world and humanity, embodying a protector of both humans and nature against the other gods' harsher judgments. Acting as a mediator between the divine and the mortal realms, Enki consistently seeks to safeguard and support those in need, highlighting his significance as a guardian within these ancient myths. Long ago, in a place we now call Mesopotamia, there lived a goddess known as Inana, and in some places people called her Ishtar. She was a unique goddess who represented both love and war, a combination you wouldn't usually think of together. Inanna was incredibly important to the people of ancient cities like Uruk and Babylon. Much like a superhero is to us today, Inanna was known for her courage, perhaps more so than any other deity. She embarked on a daunting journey to the underworld, a frightening realm ruled by her sister Ereshkigal. This journey was far from a simple escapade. It was a profound quest where Inanna had to confront her deepest fears, lose all she held dear, and then find her way back to the realm of the living. This tale was not just for amusement. It served as a profound lesson on maturation, overcoming adversity, and emerging stronger and wiser. But Inanna's tales weren't solely about love and conflict. She also ventured into realms typically governed by other deities. She acquired magical powers known as the Mez from the god Enki, which were essential for enhancing the prosperity of cities and the well-being of their inhabitants. Yet, Inanna also showed a fierce side, such as when she fiercely rebuked a mountain that failed to show her respect, or pursued those who wronged her or her allies. Her descent into the underworld is among her most celebrated legends. illustrating her confrontation with her unwelcoming sister and the harsh judges of the dead. Despite facing numerous obstacles, Inana received assistance from Enki and managed to return to the living world. However, her return required her husband Dumuzid to spend part of each year in the underworld, an arrangement that explains the changing seasons. The ancient Mesopotamian stories also delve into the concept of Kur, not merely as a villain, but as a representation of chaos and danger that could disrupt the natural order. These narratives highlight the delicate balance maintained by the gods against the chaotic forces symbolized by Kur, reflecting nature's dual capacity for benevolence and severity. In one narrative, Kur abducts the goddess Ereshkigal, prompting Enki, the deity of wisdom, water, and creation, to confront and defeat Kur. This confrontation is part of a larger saga, Gilgamesh, Enkidu, and the Netherworld, illustrating the ongoing struggle to preserve cosmic balance. Another key figure, Ninurta, decides to battle Kur after being encouraged by his weapon, Sharur. Despite facing initial challenges, Ninurta perseveres and ultimately triumphs. However, defeating Kur leads to environmental catastrophes, since Kur had contained perilous waters. Ninurta then diligently works to rectify these issues by rerouting the waters to their proper places, underscoring the gods' responsibility not only to combat threats, but also to sustain life and maintain the world's harmony. The stories from long ago in Mesopotamia give us a glimpse into how the people back then thought about the world and the stars. Kur, even though it was seen as a bad guy, played an important part in keeping everything in nature balanced. It showed the mess and disorder that the gods had to handle to make sure life was protected. The adventures of the gods fighting against Kur are not just simple tales of conflict. They go deeper, teaching us about finding harmony, recovering from setbacks, and the ongoing cycle of destruction and renewal. Talking about the underworld, which is often called Kur in these stories, it's a bit of a complicated idea in the mythology of Mesopotamia. People imagined it as a shadowy, far-off place, possibly way down under the ground or in a far corner of the earth. What happened to someone after they died was thought to depend a lot on how they were buried. If someone had a fancy burial, they were believed to be treated well in the afterlife. On the other hand, if the burial was not taken care of well or didn't happen at all, it was thought that the person would not do well or might even disappear after death. These ideas show what the ancient Mesopotamians believed about fairness, what happens after we die, and how important they thought it was to do the right things for those who have passed away. Let's take a closer look and dive deeper into the fascinating world of ancient Mesopotamian stories, where every tale was an epic adventure, much like the superhero movies we enjoy today. Picture this: vast, dusty landscapes and grand cities made of clay, where the sun sets in a blaze of gold and red. In these settings, people told stories of incredible heroes, gods and goddesses, each with their own powers and weaknesses, embarking on quests that could shape the fate of the universe. Imagine a world where gods walked among humans, where the line between the divine and the mortal was blurred. These gods could control elements like water, fire, and wind, making them the ultimate protectors of their people and lands. They fought against monstrous creatures like the fearsome Kur, a symbol of chaos and destruction. In these stories, Kur wasn't just a simple villain. It represented the unknown dangers lurking beyond the safety of civilization, the natural disasters, and the forces of nature that ancient people tried to understand and control. These myths were shared around campfires, under the night sky, or during grand feasts, becoming a key part of Mesopotamian culture. They weren't just entertainment. They were lessons in courage, loyalty, and the importance of balance in the world. For instance, when a god took on a monster, it wasn't just for glory but to protect the order of the universe, to keep chaos at bay, and ensure the survival of their world. The stories also explored themes of friendship, betrayal, love, and loss, making the characters relatable to the people who heard them. They showed gods struggling with decisions, making mistakes, and facing the consequences, just like humans do. This made the gods more accessible, turning them into beings that people could look up to and learn from, not just fear or worship from afar. These ancient tales also served as a way to explain natural phenomena, like the changing of seasons, the cycle of the moon, and the flooding of rivers, which were crucial to agriculture in Mesopotamia. By attributing these events to the actions of gods, people found comfort in the idea that the world around them was orderly and predictable, not just random and chaotic. Moreover, these stories were recorded on clay tablets, allowing them to be passed down through generations. This was how ancient Mesopotamians preserved their history, culture, and beliefs, making sure that future generations could learn from and be inspired by these epic tales. These tablets are like the comic books of their time, filled with detailed illustrations of gods and goddesses, heroes and monsters, providing a visual feast that complemented the oral storytelling tradition.